Hey friends, Gary Norris here. Just have to make a quick video. I went to a real estate investing guru seminar yesterday, and I like to go to them occasionally to learn little nuggets. It's always good to pick up a nugget here and a nugget there as you learn. I was so disappointed in this one. I was literally blown away at how condescending the speaker was, for one, and the tactics they used to sell a $6,000 program at the back of the room for the low price of $19.95 if you act today. And they did a 1.5 hour pitch on how to make money flipping real estate. Their hooks that they used to get people to go to the back of the room were very surprising. It had nothing to do with flipping houses. Their hook was, if you go to our 3-day boot camp for $19.95, you then have the opportunity to give you exclusive access to our lender that will lend you money at 4% interest. Now that's a nail biter, but during the presentation, they were saying how, if you go out and get hard money, you're going to pay 2 to 3 points up front and 18 to 24% for their money, which is a freaking joke. And was all I could do to keep myself calm, cool, and collected when they said that from the front of the room, because that is ridiculous. You can get private money, hard money, for 1.5 points, 1 point, maybe 2 points, but it's definitely not 15, 18, or 24%. You can get it for about 1% a month, which is maybe 12% a year. And if you need it for 6 months, it's 6%, 1% a month. But they said if you go to the back of the room and buy for $19.95, you will get access to our lender. Just because you've gone through our course, after 3 days, the lender will know that you're super qualified to be using their money, and they will just let you have it for 4%. And another trick they use, they said, now, who here has heard of, foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, NOD list, notice of default, and people raise their hand. And then the speaker says, yeah, you and everyone else. That's where all the deals are. That's why all the investors go there. But if you go to the back of the room and you spend your $19.95, we're going to give you exclusive access to the FDIC troubled banks shadow inventory. And that's where all the deals are that the investors don't know about. Unless you're smart enough to Google, of course, which I Googled while I was sitting in the room and found that you can get access to you can get access to it by Googling and paying for it for a list. You can go to a title company and get those lists for free. So it just really irked me that they were doing this kind of a ploy. One person made a comment on how they like tile versus hardwood floor. The presenter actually berated the person that asked the question and said, I've been doing this for 17 years. When I say in Utah you do hardwood and not tile, I know what I'm talking about, even though this fricker was from North Carolina. And the 4 people that were there were from the Carolinas and Texas and LA. No local people whatsoever. And of course, the gurus weren't there that were supposed to be there. But that's beside the point. But he actually berated a customer, potential purchaser in the audience by saying, you don't do tile because in Utah it gets cold. Does it not get cold in Utah? And when you open that door, cold air comes in the winter and it can crack your tile. And then another man said, it doesn't get that cold and it's inside and we have heat. And the speaker actually turned to that man and said, excuse me, sir, when you have air come into your house and it's cold, does cold air rise or does cold air stay low? Heat rises and the cold air stays low. And sir, in your house, is your tile on your ceiling or is it on your floor? He actually said that. I wanted to spit in his face. It was unbelievable. And of course, now that man didn't buy and he walked out early. And the other person that he berated didn't buy either. Had a nice little chat with her afterwards. And probably someone we're going to work with in real estate, her and one of her other people that were sitting next to her. And I just was incensed that that is the way they were treating people and that is the way they were doing their business. Now, mind you, there wasn't that many people in the room, and I was still shocked and actually disappointed that 3 people went back and purchased. and spent their 15 or 1995. Yeah, totally disappointed. And the reason they did it was under less than savory pretenses. I don't even know if that's the proper way to say it, but they were not good intentions. They were not well-intended people presenting, and it definitely sounded and felt like a slick guru, high-pressure sales seminar. I hate those. They suck. That's why I work with investors and I do events, and we go to events where we have a like-minded community of investors, and we're local and we're a team, and we network and we shop deals with each other. We share information with each other, and we can meet and get to know each other on a more intimate basis because we're all local, including the investors, the new investors, the experienced investors. And I just was really disappointed, and that is why the Guru Real Estate Investing Seminars suck. I just encourage you, do not go to them with your credit card or your debit card or your checkbook or with any intention to purchase anything whatsoever. I went there just for the ability to maybe learn a nugget or two. Now, I did go to the back of the room and I chatted with one of the 4 people that were there. And they knew I was an investor because we had chatted before the seminar started. And I'm local and I've done a lot of deals. The gentleman said, "So are you going to buy?" And I'm like, "I really am not going to buy anything today. But I do have some questions. And I'd like you to, if you don't mind, just share with me how your back end works. You know, people are going to pay $2,000, but what's after the 3-day event? What's the next thing you're going to give them an opportunity to buy? And then once they do that, what's the next step and the next step? And when it's all said and done, how much would people pay, if you don't mind me asking?" And he was nice and kind enough to share with me that, yeah, the $2,000 program is one thing, but after our 3-day boot camp, we have a $5,000 program, and after that, it's a coaching program that's $30,000. And if you did everything we have to offer, you will spend $37,000, and you will have access to us for 1 year. And that was his spill. So I then asked him, "Tell me about your private money source that's only 4%. That just sounds like it doesn't pass the smell test." And he said, "Oh no, it's 4%. It's 4% for 45 days. You can have our private lender do a deal. They'll give you the money for 45 days, and that would only cost you 4%. Plus, there's a $500 preparation fee that's put on the back end, plus points. But they're all put on the back end. After you fund the deal and resell it 45 days later, that's when they charge you. So there's nothing charged up front." And I'm like, "So the 4% is for 45 days. Okay, that's interesting. Kind of misleading, but interesting." And he said, "Oh, it's not misleading. It's we can't share all the details that are at the front of the room." I'm like, "Yeah, you can't, because you want to collect $2,000 first. That's why." But it was just really a disappointing moment for me, and I've shared it with a few people, and now it's been like 36 hours since it ended, and it's just I just can't stay. I've been so uncomfortable all day, like literally sometimes doubting myself, like, why am I in real estate? Real estate's just out there to sucker people. And I even had a conversation with my wife, with Carolyn. I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm doing this, but am I doing this to help people, or is this something that is just not worth helping people? And thankfully, of course, I was able to rein myself in and realize that if you're doing it for the right purposes and you are there to help, to do good, to be good, to make a difference, and to serve, then of course it's great. It's amazing. And that's why we do and love real estate investing. That's why we help others get into investing. But I'm telling you, those real estate gurus seminars suck. And do not go to them with your money. Just go to them to maybe network and learn a few things. But, get a hold of a local networking group. Get on Bigger Pockets if that's the least you do, and build a free profile and network with other investors across the country. Go to local meetups. Go to local real estate investor communities. Get a hold of me if you want to reach out to the community we reach into. We love it. But there's so much you can do locally with like-minded investors. You do not need those fly-by-nights that come into town and then zip out of town with your money to never give you the support you need. And you never, chances are extremely low, you will do real estate through their programs. They just need your money. Anyways, rant is over. Go out, make it a great day, and get your rebel on. We'll see you. Bye-bye.